Welcome to the deep dive. We've got something really interesting lined up for today. We're taking a deep dive into a game called Bones. It's caught our attention because it's this unique blend of strategic card playing, think blackjack, but with a real-time social element.
Yeah, and it's really interesting how it goes beyond just trying to recreate that casino atmosphere online. Bones has this way of tapping into the whole idea of shared wins and building this collective energy that you don't really see in a lot of online games.
Okay, so for someone like me, someone who loves a good card game, especially one that involves strategy, what makes Bones stand out?
I think it all comes down to these things called power boost cards. Imagine right in the middle of a hand, you can play a card that can totally change the game. You can steal cards, double your score, even bring back a card that you've already played.
Whoa, okay. So it's not just about counting cards. You're saying there's actual bluffing and mind games involved.
Exactly. And here's the brilliant part. Up to 20 people can watch a match happen live. So picture this. You play that steal card at a crucial moment. Not only do you get that rush, but you're sharing it with a whole room of people reacting in real time.
Now, that's what I'm talking about. That's what makes online gaming exciting. It's not just you versus some random opponent in the void. It's like you're all in it together.
Right. And Bones is smart about it. They cater to traditional gamers and the Web3 crowd too, so you can play with their in-game currency Bones if you want to keep it classic.
But they've also got an option for the crypto fans out there. I'm guessing that's where the chips come in.
Exactly. Chips are Bones' crypto thing. You can even transfer them to the Moonbeam blockchain. It adds a whole other level to the game if you're into that.
So they're really bridging the gap between casual gaming and the whole world of blockchain and NFTs.
Yeah, it's pretty innovative. And they've got big plans for the future, too. They're talking about expanding to Steam, new tournaments, even more ways to cash out like stablecoins. They're definitely thinking ahead.
Okay, so let's get into the nitty-gritty. How does a typical Bones match actually play out? What are the strategic decisions you have to make?
Okay, so you're in the Bones lobby, right? You can start your own match, set the wager, or you can just browse and join one that's already going. The lobby's also where you can chat with other players, check the leaderboards, see what matches are happening live. It's where the Bones community hangs out, basically. Once you're in a match, that's when the fun really begins.
And that's where the deck building comes in, right?
Mm-hmm.
What are some of these power boost cards?
Yeah. So before each match, you get to build what they call your power deck. You choose 10 cards, but only 4 of them are randomly picked for each match. It keeps things interesting, Make sure no 2 matches are ever the same, and the possibilities are pretty wild.
Like what? Give me some examples.
Well, you've got the simpler ones, like cards that let you add or subtract from your score, but then there are the really game-changing ones, like that steal card. You can literally just yoink a card right out of your opponent's hand. Then there's the double card, high risk, high reward. If you play it right, you can double the value of your last card.
Dang. So you really got to be thinking ahead. It's like poker, but with a twist.
Exactly. There's the tiebreaker, adds or subtracts 1 from your score. A knee breaks a tie. Super clutch. And then there's the resurrect card, which is kind of like a lifeline. You can bring back a card you've already played. Imagine you're 1 card away from winning that resurrect card. Could be a game changer.
It's like having a secret weapon up your sleeve. I can see why people who are into games like poker would be drawn to this strategic bluffing, the calculated risks, the element of surprise. But then you're sharing those moments with a live audience, which adds a whole other level of intensity.
Absolutely. It's like that feeling of being at a live poker tournament, But with Bones, you can get that same excitement from anywhere in the world, and you're connected with this whole community of people who are into the same thing.
And for those who might be new to the whole blockchain gaming thing, can you break down how this chips system works? What are the benefits, but also what are the risks of playing with cryptocurrency?
Yeah, so with chips, it's like you're taking things to a whole new level. Imagine, you win a tournament. You could actually transfer those winnings to your digital wallet. You could even convert them into other cryptocurrencies if you wanted to.
So there are real-world implications. It's not just about what happens in the game. But what about the risks? Crypto can be pretty volatile, right?
Oh, for sure. That's something to keep in mind. The value of chips can go up and down, just like any other cryptocurrency. But, some people see that as part of the excitement. It's like you can be strategic about when you cash out your winnings, hoping for that perfect moment when the price is high.
So it adds another layer of strategy, even outside of the actual matches. High risk, high reward, as they say. You mentioned a story earlier about a player who was new to both Bones and cryptocurrency. What was that about?
Oh, yeah. So this guy, he was initially drawn to Bones because of the whole card game aspect. He loved the strategy of it all. But then he started messing around with the chips system. And you know what? He actually started seeing some decent returns. Like his crypto winnings were growing right alongside his skills in the game.
That must have been pretty satisfying, like seeing those wins translate into something tangible. Did this player have any like really memorable moments, any crazy wins?
He told me this story about this tournament he was in. It was down to the wire, and he was down to his last few chips. He took a huge gamble, played this power boost card, and it paid off. He ended up winning the whole thing. And he said the best part was everyone in the virtual room knew what was riding on that moment, not just in the game, but potentially in his real-life crypto wallet, too. Everyone was going wild.
I bet. That's the kind of story that gets you hooked. You know, it shows how Bones manages to combine that strategic card game thrill with the whole excitement of the crypto world. It's a pretty potent mix.
And it's not just about those individual wins either. The social side of Bones goes way beyond just the card table. The community has really embraced the whole Web3 thing. Like, people are sharing tips on how to manage their chips. They're talking about market trends. It's like a whole new level of interaction.
So it's like they've created this whole ecosystem around the game. It's not just about playing, it's about learning and growing together in this new world of blockchain.
Exactly. Players are forming these guilds, they're mentoring each other. Some of them are even creating content to help newcomers wrap their heads around all the crypto stuff. It's really cool to see how this gaming community is adapting and finding new ways to connect.
It sounds like they've really tapped into something special. But for those listening who might not be ready to dive into the whole Web3 thing just yet, what would you say makes the Bones experience so unique, even if you're sticking with the Bones currency? What can players look forward to?
Even if you're not into the whole crypto thing, Bones is still a really social game. Remember those power boost cards? Imagine like someone pulls off this amazing comeback win with a resurrect card, the chat explodes, everyone's going crazy, even if they're just watching. It's pretty awesome.
It's like they've taken those classic casino moments, the gasps, the cheers, the groans, and brought them online.
Yeah, exactly. It's about sharing those stories, the close calls, the big wins, even just debating strategy with other players afterwards. That's what builds a community, and Bones nails it.
And for those who are interested in the Web3 side of things, it sounds like Bones makes it pretty approachable.
For sure. They've got tutorials, FAQs, all that good stuff. And there's always someone around who's happy to answer questions. I
Yeah.
think that takes a lot of the pressure off, especially if you're new to crypto.
It's like having a built-in support network as you're figuring it all out.
Exactly. And because it's all tied to a game, it doesn't feel like homework or anything. It's fun.
So for our listeners out there who might be on the fence, what would you say is the biggest reason to try out Bones? What sets it apart?
I think it's how well Bones combines strategy and community. Whether you're a hardcore card player or just looking for a fun online experience, Bones has something for you.
It sounds like they're really onto something special, like they're at the forefront of a new kind of gaming.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Absolutely. A huge thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the world of Bones. Until next time, keep exploring and keep playing.